This is TechCrunch. As part of an ongoing legal dispute with three Hollywood studios, AI startup Midjourney is seeking to compel those studios to reveal how they use AI themselves. Disney and Universal sued Midjourney for alleged copyright infringement last year, noting that the startup's image generation models could create images of characters such as Bart Simpson and Darth Vader, among others, who are owned by the studios. A few months later, Warner Brothers sued Midjourney as well. Now, the startup argues that training its AI models on images of copyrighted characters is permitted under fair use. The current dispute revolves around the documentation the studios will need to produce during the discovery process. A judge previously ruled that the studios would indeed have to provide information about their generative AI usage, but only when it led to consumer-facing videos and images. In its latest filing, Midjourney seeks to overturn that limitation, arguing that it unfairly allows the studios to cherry-pick only those documents they believe support their market harm claims while depriving Midjourney of documents that would support its defenses. Midjourney goes on to claim that the documents the studios are withholding are precisely those that would reveal whether, behind closed doors, they are doing exactly what they are suing Midjourney for doing. For example, the startup says that if the studios are developing image-generating AI models for internal use in storyboarding or ideating content for film or TV, well, that evidence would equally demonstrate that it is an industry custom, even among the studios themselves, to download and train AI on unlicensed, copyrighted content. In the filing, the startup also argues that the studios should reveal all the prompts they use in Midjourney, as well as the resulting outputs, not just the prompts that produced the allegedly infringing images. The studio's lead attorney, David Singer, previously claimed Midjourney was seeking this documentation as part of a fishing expedition. He also said the studios do not seek to stop AI technology or even shut down Midjourney's business, but rather simply want Midjourney to stop copying their movies and TV shows and to stop distributing, publicly displaying, publicly performing, and creating derivative works that include copies of their famous characters without authorization. NVIDIA competitor Etched announced last week that TSMC had manufactured its first chip earlier this year, while the 4-year-old startup, valued at $5 billion, is getting ready to ship systems powered by that chip to customers later this summer. Scaling production may prove challenging. Like other chip designers, Etched must compete for limited capacity at TSMC's Taiwan factories. Thiel Capital, one of the early investors in Etched, is hopeful that the chipmaker will find a solution to its manufacturing constraints by eventually producing chips at Arizona's TSMC facility. When the 4-year-old VC firm invested in the company's $120 million Series A 2 years ago, founder Jack Selby secured an allocation in part by promising to help the startup eventually reshore its chip fabrication to Arizona. Selby, a former PayPal exec and longtime managing director to Peter Thiel's family office, Thiel Capital, founded Phoenix-based Copper Sky back in 2021. The firm's first $115 million fund focused primarily on startups based in Arizona and the Southwest. Selby's thesis was that most coastal startups, particularly those based in California, Massachusetts, and New York, are grossly overpriced compared to companies popping up in his region. However, Selby saw an opportunity to bridge the gap in the other direction by helping California-based hardware startups move their production to Arizona. Selby credits Copper Sky's investment in Etched, an otherwise hard-to-access startup, to his influential role in Arizona's economy. As a board member of the Arizona Commerce Authority, Selby is deeply involved in recruiting out-of-state businesses to set up manufacturing operations in the region. When Copper Sky invested with Etched, Selby told TechCrunch, the company clearly understood our connectivity to the Arizona semiconductor industry, and in particular, the local TSMC GigaFab. While Copper Sky has recently expanded its focus beyond the Southwest to include non-traditional venture hubs nationwide, Selby said that the firm is also interested in backing hardware companies, including in the defense sector, that can set up manufacturing operations in Arizona. The firm is expected to soon have more capital to invest in those higher-priced coastal companies and those throughout the United States. Copper Sky is currently raising a $300 million second fund, according to a regulatory filing. That's all for now. For the latest in startup tech news, go to TechCrunch.com.